Hey guys, Phil Davis from Ancestry Lands, and we're excited to bring you the final episode of our winter survival series. In the last 5 episodes, we built a complete winter survival system. We covered why your heating fails, the propane heater solution, safe fuel storage, real survival stories, and the complete emergency kit. But here's the truth: the propane portable heaters are backup systems. They're designed for emergencies that last for days or weeks. But what if you want a more permanent backup? What if you want permanent energy independence? Today, we're going to talk about the long term off grid heating solutions for rural landowners. And yes, you might be able to use this if you're a homeowner. Systems that can heat your home for decades without depending on the grid. I'm Phil Davis with Ancestry Lands. Again, let's talk about true heating independence. We want to let you all know that, of course, we're going to have affiliate links to things you can buy if you want to. So forget all the comment haters about, us offering products. Emergency backup heating gets you through the crisis, but long-term off-grid heating eliminates the dependency entirely. With propane heaters, you're still buying fuel, you're still connected to the supply chain, you're still prepared for outages, but you're not independent. True independence means you're heating your home without the grid, without monthly bills, without external supply chains you can't control. That's what we're building towards in this episode. Now, let me be clear. The solutions we're covering today require investment. We're not talking about $200 anymore, so you're going to need something a little bit more thicker and expensive in your wallet. We're talking about $2,000 to $20,000 depending on the system. Here's the payoff: the system can last you for 20 to 40 years. They can increase the property value. They can reduce or eliminate heating costs, and they give you control. For rural landowners building homesteads, off-grid cabins, or just wanting security, these are permanent solutions for you. And again, they could be helpful. Pick and choose which one you want. Let's start with the most proven off-grid heating method: wood stoves. Wood heating has been used for thousands of years. Heck, the Amish probably still use them today. It's reliable, affordable to operate, and if you have land with timber, your fuel is free. Modern wood stoves are engineered for efficiency. EPA certified stoves burn cleaner, produce more heat per log, and reduce cresceo buildup. A quality wood stove can cost about $1,500 to $4,000 depending on the size and features. Installation adds another $1,000 to $2,000 for chimney, heart pad, or professional setup. A total upfront cost could run you about maybe $2,500 to $7,000 all up front. But here's the payoff: if you heat your with wood you harvest yourself, the annual fuel cost is zero. Your time and your labor are your only costs. If you buy firewood, hey, you can expect to pay about $200 to $400 per cord, depending on your region. Most homes need about 3 to 6 cords per winter. That's $600 to $1,200 per year. That's still far less than propane, oil, or electric heat. Wood stoves can heat about 1,000 to 2,500 square feet, depending on the model and the size of your home. Insulation: for larger homes, you may need two stoves or a central system. The downside: wood stoves do require daily attention. You're splitting wood, loading the stove, cleaning ash, maintaining the chimney. But for landowners who value self sufficiency and have access to timber, wood heat is unbeatable. The key considerations are: do you have access to firewood on your property or nearby? Are you physically able to split, stack, or haul wood? Do you have the storage space for 3 to 6 cords of seasoned firewood? Are local regulations friendly to wood burning? Some areas do have restrictions. If the answer are yes to any one of these or all of these, a wood stove is one of your best long-term investments you can make. There are things called pellet stoves that are a modern evolution of the wood heat stove. They actually burn compressed wood pellets instead of logs. They're also automated. Isn't that awesome? Pellets are made from sawdust and wood waste. They're uniform, clean burning, and easy to store. A 40-pound bag of pellets costs about $5 to $7 and can provide you about 24 hours of heat for a full winter. Expect to use 2 to 4 tons of pellets. That's $600 to $1,200 per season. Comparable to wood, it is less labor and probably easier to store. Pellet stoves have automatic feeders. You fill the hopper with pellets, set that thermostat, and the stove manages the burn rate. Some models can run about 24 to 48 hours on a single hopper. Load upfront cost: it's going to run you about $2,000 to $5,000 per stove, plus $1,000 to $2,000 for installation. The downside: pellet stoves do require electricity to run the auger and the fan. The power goes out. Hey, we're back to the same thing. Most pellet stoves stop working unless you have a battery backup or a generator. So the pellet stoves are less independent than wood stoves, but they're more convenient and require less daily maintenance. The best for landowners who want efficiency and automation but don't want to split wood all day. I mean, who wants to break their back over that? All right. And again, these are just options. All right. If you have a larger home, multiple buildings, you have a multiplex, anything else like that, outdoor wood boilers are probably definitely worth considering. These are large furnaces installed outside again, remember that, your home. You load them with logs and they heat water that circulates through your home's radiant floor system or baseboard heaters. Outdoor wood boilers can heat your home, domestic hot water, your garage, your workshop, and even a greenhouse from one system. They're ideal for homesteads with multiple structures and honestly anyone heating up more than 2,500 square feet up front. The cost, well, you're looking at about $8,000 to $15,000 for the boiler, plus another 3 to 8 grand for the installation and the plumbing. Don't forget that. The annual cost is free if you harvest your own wood, or about $1,000 to $2,500 if you buy firewood. The advantages are pretty clear. Hey, there's no smoke, ash, or fire hazard inside your home. You can heat multiple buildings. They burn larger unsplit logs, and they really reduce that indoor maintenance that you need as opposed to the other stoves. What's the downside? Well, we saw it, that high upfront cost. They require circulating pumps, which, by the way, need electricity. So you need to load them daily during peak winter. Outdoor wood boilers are serious investments, but for rural landowners with timber access and big heating needs, they deliver decades of reliable, low-cost heat. Now, don't forget, a lot of this stuff can be covered, and you can learn about owning land from my book, Getting Dollars from Dirt, which is available on Amazon. The links will be in the description below. Now, let's talk about masonry heaters. They're honestly one of the most efficient wood burning systems out there, and I mean efficient. They are surprisingly one of the least known in the U.S. A masonry heater is built from brick, stone, or ceramic. You can burn a hot, fast fire once or twice a day, and that thermal mass just absorbs that heat. The masonry that radiates warm for about 12 to 24 hours. They are incredibly efficient, up to 90% efficiency compared to 60 to 75% efficiency of traditional wood stoves. They produce very little smoke or particular emissions, then they provide this constant, gentle, radiant heat instead of hot and cold cycles that you get with regular wood stoves. The downside costs, a professionally built masonry heater runs about $10,000 to $30,000, depending on the size and craftsmanship and their permanent structures. So you're not moving that masonry heater; it's built right into the home. They're best for landowners building new homes or doing major renovations. These are going to be particularly people who want the ultimate in wood fire efficiency. Let the shift to a completely different approach now. Passive solar heating, passive solar designs uses your home's architecture, orientation, and materials to capture and store the sun's heat. No moving parts, no fuel maintenance. These key elements are south-facing windows that capture winter sunlight, a thermal mass like concrete floors or stone walls to store the heat, proper insulation and the air sealing to retain that heat, and roof overhangs designed to shade windows in the summer but let the sunlight in during the winter. A well-designed passive solar home can reduce heating needs by 50 to 75%. In mild climates, it can eliminate heating costs almost entirely. The cost, well, that depends on if you're building new. A passive solar design adds about 5 to 10% of the construction costs, maybe $10,000 to $30,000 for a typical home. If you're retrofitting an existing home, that's going to be a bit tougher. You can add south-facing windows, thermal mass, and better insulation, but the orientation is pretty much fixed. Passive solar works best when combined with another heating system. Use the sun to handle about 50 to 70% of your heating, and wood pellets or wood for backup. Best for landowners building new homes in sunny climates like California City, where we sell all our land, who want to design independence from the ground up. Now, don't forget, with solar panels, you do not want to put them on your roof because that can cause issues with things leaking into the roof when they're screwed in. Now let's talk about geothermal heat pumps. They use a stable temperature from the earth to heat and cool your home about 6 feet underground. These are one of my favorites. The temperature stays right around 50 to 55 degrees Fahrenheit all year long. Geothermal heating systems circulate fluid through buried pipes, extracting the heat in winter and dumping heat in the summer into the ground. Geothermal systems are incredibly efficient, 3 to 4 times more efficient than a traditional HVAC. They provide both heating and cooling. They're quiet, reliable, and can last for 25 years for the indoor unit and 50 or more for the ground loop. The downside, again, upfront costs. Geothermal systems run about 15 to 30 grand installed, and they do need electricity to run circulating pumps and a heat exchanger. So you're not fully off grid unless you pair them with solar panels or battery storage. They're best for landowners with enough property to install ground loops and a budget for high efficiency systems. Now, again, no one size fits all, but there's a little something for everybody. Here's the reality: most off grid heating systems or setups use multiple systems. Most people won't tell you that. You might have a wood stove as your primary heat source with a propane heater for backup, or you might have passive solar for the daytime heating and a pellet stove for nights on cloudy days, or even an outdoor wood boiler with an electric baseboard as emergency backup. There's no need to have just one. This hybrid approach gives you some redundancy. If one system fails or fuel runs out, you have options. That's what you need. It lets you optimize for efficiency using the cheapest, most available fuel first and fall to the backup alternatives when needed. For rural landowners, redundancy is not optional. It's insurance. And insurance is something that you need because, again, you've got to take care of you and your family. Let's talk about the numbers now. If you're currently heating with propane, oil, or electricity, you're probably spending somewhere about $1,500 to $4,000 per winter, depending on your home size and the climate. A $5,000 wood stove that heats your home for free pays for itself in about 2 to 4 years. That's called return on investment. A $12,000 outdoor wood boiler pays for itself in about 4 to 8 years. A $25,000 geothermal system pays for itself in about 8 to 15 years. So if you're in a home for 30 years, well, you're coming out on top. And those systems last for about 20 to 50 years. So after payback, you're heating for free and near free for decades. Plus, the off-grid heating systems increase your property values. The buyers look for rural land or homesteads that will pay a premium for homes with established wood heating, geothermal, or solar heating options. This isn't just a cost, it's an investment in your property and your independence. Now, I'm so happy that we're bringing you all these new and sometimes things you may not have even heard. That's what Ancestry Lands is all about. Let's bring this all together now. The emergency backup heating is like propane heaters we covered in episode 1 through 5. Yes, they are essential. Everyone needs a plan for when the power goes out. But if you own rural land, if you're building a homestead, or you just want to stop paying monthly heating bills long term on your home, and off-grid heating is the next level. Wood stoves, pellet stoves, outdoor boilers, passive solar, geothermal, these are the tools that deliver true energy independence. They require investment, they require planning, but they pay for themselves and they give you control. Because independence isn't just about surviving an emergency, it's eliminating the dependence entirely. Now, that's something there. And I want to let you all know this video is an educational video to provide you with options that you need to empower yourself. This concludes our Winter Ready series. We're started you with why your heating fails. We showed you why the emergency solution. We taught you how to store fuel safely. We share real survival stories. We built the complete kit, and now you've been given the roadmap to permanent heating independence. Whether you're preparing for the next storm, building a homestead that lasts generations, or you want to just improve your own home, you now have that knowledge. Everything we covered is part of Ancestry Land's mission, helping people build real security and generational wealth through land ownership and practical preparedness. If you're serious about taking the next step and owning land and living independently, grab my book, Getting Dollars from Dirt, on Amazon. If it's a complete roadmap to buying, owning, and profiting from land, if you're ready to take the next step, go to ancestrylands.com for resources, opportunities, and again, make sure you look in the description section below. We'll have affiliate links to some of the things that we've covered in previous videos as fuel prices rise. But if you own land, you can control your own heat and you'll be fine. Thanks for watching, guys. This series, Stay Independent. This content is for educational purposes only and is not financial, legal, or medical advice. I'm Phil Davis. I've been excited about this series. Wow, we got one video that's got over 6,000 views. I appreciate you guys. Smash that like button and heat it up with that thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next videos.